And we're live. Hello all and welcome. And I'm the Realist Philosopher. And this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So hope you're all doing good, fine, and well today. I'm doing all right. Spent what little free time I had before the show scouring all of my saved stories to find the nuttiest and craziest shit for this, number 6, crazy shit. All right. So before I get into it, I wanted to discuss the story a little more that I talked about in my last show. It really was out of place because it was like level 9, 10 crazy, and I noticed that almost immediately, but talked about it anyway. But I didn't really go into as much detail as I wanted to. And since it's super crazy and it really belonged in this show anyway, I want to continue talking about it for a bit because there were some points I didn't address and some things I didn't voice about it. So it was the story about the thug Larping. These dumb fucking teenage kids. I assume some of them were teenagers. Maybe some of them were older. I know the kid that was shot was 19. I'm assuming that the others were of a similar age. Maybe some a year or two older. Maybe some younger. So probably the majority of them were teenagers. But what? So essentially the story was about some kids who in the AM hours, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, are going around and shooting up people's houses with what look like, get this, real fucking guns, right? You know how some of these new paintball guns look like real guns? They've got the compressed air canister that's a really tiny one, like some of those BB guns have. It's in the grip, so it actually looks like a real gun, but it's a paintball gun, but you wouldn't be able to tell the difference at nighttime, all right? So bunch of these kids are running around at night shooting up people's houses with paintball guns. Yeah, one of them got shot and killed. I love it. Darwinism at work, baby. Yeah, it's too bad we don't have more Darwinism of that nature. We would get rid of ever more of the stupid people, and then our IQ might stop dropping so precipitously. But of course, a lot of that has to do with all the immigration from the third world into the first. But anyway, yeah, it is hilarious. Dumb kids. Oh, fucking A. I wonder I would love to have been a fly on the wall of that meeting. What do you think that was like? What do you think it was like? How do you think these kids went about planning this, right? I think it was like one of those script meetings, where all these writers and all sit down to flesh out, what they're going to write about in the next season of a TV show. What do you think, John? What should we write about? What's a good idea? Now, what do you think we should do, John? What do you think we should do tonight? Everybody's sitting around. I don't know. Maybe we could go start some dumpster fires. Yeah, we did that last week. Another guy is like, well, maybe we could go and TP a house. TP for toilet paper. When I was a kid, you would, if you had a problem with a teacher or some adult authority figure, you would take a toilet paper and you would throw it, and it would go over trees and shit and land, and TP everywhere. Would be a pain in the ass to clean up. Usually people would just wait for it to rain, and then it would wash the TP away, because, oh my God. The revenge of children. It would take hours to do and days to clean up. Yeah, we did that 2 weeks ago. What about egging? Let's egg that dude's house, the English teacher we don't like. He's such an asshole. He gave me an F. Yeah, then we'd have to buy eggs. It's a lot of fucking eggs. I don't have that much money on me right now. Anybody else got a good idea that doesn't involve having to spend money or something we've already done? I've got an idea. Okay, Henry, what's your idea? Why don't we get our paintball guns that look like real guns and go around and shoot up a bunch of people's houses with them? Oh, we've never done that before. That sounds like a great idea. Where was the person that had a brain in this group? There were supposedly something like a dozen kids. Didn't one of these 12 kids at all have a brain and voice some objections? But this is America. Don't most people have guns in their houses and running around in the middle of the night with things that look like guns? And they actually are guns. They're not firearms, but they are compressed air guns. They do shoot projectiles very fast, by the way, and they look like real guns. And even if you have an expert eye, it's fucking dark out, it might be hard to tell. So maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe one of us might get shot in the fucking head because, these guns are kind of indistinguishable from real guns at a distance. And what with it being nighttime, it'd be even more difficult. And since a whole bunch of people have been shot by fucking cops just for having a hoagie wrapped in aluminum foil and it was shiny and they mistook that for a fucking gun, it might not be a good idea to run around with things that look like actual fucking guns at nighttime and shoot up people's houses. With the fucking barrels of our guns sticking out our car windows, making it look like a fucking drive-by. That might not be a good idea, group leader. Alpha male dummy. You might have a point. Where was the person in this fucking group who had enough brains to have these kind of objections? Were there any? Nah. They all thought it was a great idea. How do you get a fucking dozen kids together to do anything these days? When I was a kid, you would have somewhat of a problem. But you could get them together maybe in those large numbers to play like softball or baseball if you had a big enough backyard, which we did. It was on rare occasion, but it happened a few times. So yeah, but that was difficult even then. How do you do it now with this social media and the kids hooked on fucking playing video games and social media? Man, talk about some of the biggest morons on the planet. Like attracts like, I guess, which is why there was nobody in this group smart enough to voice any of these objections, which to me seem perfectly obvious, but I'm not a fucking moron. My God. Oh, let's shoot up this guy's house and stick around for a long extended period of time. Apparently they drove up to one specific guy's house and the police suspect it might have had something to do with his 17-year-old son. They're not sure. And they stayed for an extended period of time shooting up this person's house with paintballs. And one of the dummies, a 19-year-old, actually even got out of the car with a fake fucking gun, paintball gun. And it's the middle of the night and was actually standing in the yard shooting up the house. Outside the fucking car. Outside the getaway vehicle. Yeah. Boy, you're not a prime target, are you, meathead? No. And then the father came out, and the dummy just stood there. Oh, didn't drop my gun. Oh, shit. He's got what looks like a real gun. But maybe it's just a paintball gun, too, because my gun looks like a real gun, but it's a paintball gun. Maybe his gun's a paintball gun, too. Popped him in the fucking head or whatever. Dead. Woo! You got to be able to find the humor in life, people. You got to be able to find the humor in life if you want to live a happy, content life. And boy, oh boy, there's so much humor in this story to be found. Oh, man. It's hilarious. Hilarious! How stupid are you? I don't think he got popped in the head, though. He got shot, got back in the car. I'm not sure if he was the driver or somebody else, and the father kept shooting at the car, of course. He believes they're actual shooters with real guns. Imagine that. I'm hearing all these fucking impact sounds on my house. I see people outside with guns. Yeah, geez, somebody's trying to kill me and my family. Yeah, so I go out and I shoot them. Perfectly reasonable response, by the way. And if I was this father, I wouldn't feel an ounce of guilt. Not an ounce! Jesus Christ, it's the fault of the dummies who came to my house with replica guns, look like real fucking firearms, and they actually shoot shit in the middle of the night and are shooting up my fucking house. It's their fault for doing something so stupid. Can't imagine the stupidity, though. I really have a difficult time fathoming how dumb people have become, how you could be this stupid, but I guess I shouldn't be because, again, we're talking about America, the country where young people can't read mechanical clocks anymore. The little hand on the 5, the big hand on the 12. What does that mean? So I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But I'd love to have been in on that pitch meeting. Oh, that would have been fucking hilarious. All these 12 morons sitting around trying to decide what they're going to do that night. Jesus Christ. Back in the 50s and 60s, kids would put on their best attire, suit, tie, hat, go out to the whatever fucking club. They had the boogie joints, and then they would go around to the local gas and sip, which would be like the malt shop and get together, and you had the fucking local hangout like on Happy Days and shit. Normal shit! Cruising for chicks and such, and your best, finest attire. What are they doing now? Running around shooting paintball guns at people's houses and getting themselves shot. You morons! I want to LARP as a thug. I can't imagine what kind of pitch meeting this must have been. Let's do a thug LARPing. Yeah. I can imagine one of them suggested, well, let's LARP D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. Apparently, this is some other dumb shit. This would be on my dumb shit show. I'm not doing as much as I used to be. Talk about stupid shit. Apparently, it's a real thing for a bunch of goober nerds to dress up as Dungeons and Dragons characters and then go out into the woods and play out these characters to the extent where they're throwing little fucking bean bags that represent lightning bolts. And they have fake foam swords and shit. And they have to roll dice, maybe, I don't know, to determine how much hit dice damage they do to the other person. This is real stuff. I've seen pictures. It's crazy. Lightning bolt. Oh, you hit me with the beanbag. It's a lightning bolt. Oh, okay. Maybe that inspired somebody else in the group to say, let's LARP, but with guns and shoot up houses. Woo! It's hilarious. Next week, we'll LARP as liquor store robbing thugs. And we'll run into liquor stores and shoot up the inside with our paintball guns and pretend to be liquor store robbers and then hope we don't get shot by the owner, who almost certainly has a big fucking 12-gauge sawed-off shotgun behind the fucking counter. Woo! And we'll play Russian roulette the week after that. Great plan, guys. Woo! How is this possible that people are this dumb? I don't get it. I don't get it, man, but wow, that story just blew me away with how crazy and stupid the people participating in this little stunt must have been. Oh, man, you were almost certainly going to get killed, but you don't see it. Let's jump off that cliff and try to get to the other side 30 feet away. I've never heard of a human being jumping 30 feet. Give it a shot. It's only a 200-foot drop. Neo survived in the Matrix. Well, he can survive too. We have no conception of how reality actually works anymore because we spend all our fucking time on social media and playing fucking video games. All right, I gotta move on. That's a funny bit, but let's move on to some more crazy shit. I had to make fun of these fucking idiots some more. Try to nail it in your heads out there how dumb people have become. All right, here's some more crazy shit. Boy, you think, well, yeah, this is all level 9, 10 craziness of differing varieties. Listen to this. So some broad, Jody, age 48, oh boy, always dreamt of a strong, silent husband. Broad that dreams of a strong yet silent guy. Yeah, silent, so you know she talks a bunch. 6 years ago, she married a bridge. Yeah, bridge. B-R-I-D-G-E, bridge. Yeah. I have no comment. Jody, I will, but not yet. Jody Diable, D-I-A-B-L-E, oh boy. Diable? Always dreamed of a grand romance with someone devilishly handsome. Wait till you see this broad, by the way. I want a man that's handsome and tall. What do you look like? Oh, shit. Keep on dreaming, honey. When she finally got married, her wedding day was everything she could have imagined. She imagined marrying a bridge? Oh, boy. She wore a 1930s-style gown that made her feel like a Hollywood screen goddess. Living in fantasy land. Well, you marry a bridge, you have to be. She felt spoilt to get her makeup done by a professional artist. Old, fat, lonely spinster broad who doesn't really buy any non-essentials. I guess she saved up all her money over the past 48 years to do this and had beautiful flowers arranged by a florist friend to perfectly match the pink hue of her lips. Ugh. She was driven to the ceremony by her two best men in a kick-ass vintage car. With butterflies in her stomach and tears in her eyes, she stepped out of the vehicle to the dulcet tones of Nick Cave's Into Your Arms in the most stunning location, the tiny village of Surat in southern France. Oh my God. I'm guessing she's not French. Wow. I did a commentary on a story like this a while ago where some woman married a dog and she flew to like Europe. And she flew like a whole bunch of people with her. Oh my God. Can you think of the biggest waste of money on earth? I'm going to marry a bridge and I won't invite all my friends. I wonder if she paid for their plane tickets as well. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, 48 years of saving every penny just to fly myself and my friends to Surat, France to marry a bridge. She recited her vows in front of her 14 closest friends, filled with nerves and excitement, but her husband couldn't respond. 14th century stone structure called the Pont du Diable, which translates to Devil's Bridge. Oh, Diable, Jody Diable. It's the same. Oh, I see. She chose this bridge because it partially has her name. Oh, maybe she is French. Okay, what the fuck do I know? Translates to Devil's Bridge, and yes, she did take her husband's name. Oh, I see. I thought that was her name before she got married. Holy shit. So she changed her name to Diable? The same as the bridge? Whoa, she's really nuts. While reminiscing about her wedding day in 2013, Jody told Mamma Mia, oh boy, Mamma Mia indeed, it was a really beautiful wedding. I had a very handsome husband and lovely friends. It was very joyful. Mr. and Miss Diable, Mr. You know, anthropomorphizing the bridge, huh? Okay. I guess nothing shocks me at this point. Have matching rings. How is that possible? It's a bridge. Since when can a bridge wear a ring? Fashioned by the town's blacksmith and retreated to the tunes of Johnny Cash's Bridge Over Troubled Water at the conclusion of the ceremony. I've never been married. I've never had kids because I embrace feminism, so I have no meaning in my life. So now I'm going to pour all the meaning in my life into a big piece of rock. Man-made structure called a bridge. I'm going to plan it right down to the smallest detail, right down to Johnny Cash plan. Yeah, she ain't French. French people ain't listening to Johnny Cash, okay? He's popular, I'll grant you that, but most French don't even know who the fuck he is. But Jody, 48, wants to make one thing clear. She isn't sexually attracted to her husband. Well, I hope not. Could you imagine her trying to have sex with this 700-year-old fucking bridge? This abrasive, gnarled, pitted rock structure. She'd tear that pussy up, for real. I do actually love him. It was never a joke. There are elements of the absurd here, but it is really not a joke. Okay. It's a genuine love. I do love bridges. It's not sexual. It's creative. You see, Jody's love affair with... I don't care about her love affair with bridges. She's just a nut job I want to make fun of, okay? She's an artist and a musician and has traveled the world recording the sounds, groans, and silences of more than 60 famous bridges. It's her livelihood and her passion. She's made her living as an artist, this creature? Wow. I guess there's really no standard for good art anymore, right? I guess if people are willing to pay her for her crap. My love for bridges started quite a long time ago in art school in Sydney. She's an Aussie? Aussie? There you go. Australia is one of the top 5 feminist countries in the world. Explains why she has no husband. Well, of course, that's part of it. Wait till you see her picture. In the mid-90s, when they were building the new Anzac Bridge, I was fascinated. Not fascinated enough, apparently, to become a fucking engineer and build bridges. Yeah. Although I'm not sure we would want her to. Remember that feminist bridge that fell down? The team of all feminist engineers who were hired and tasked with the job because they were all women. And the bridge fell down and killed a bunch of people. It had cables that looked like a heart. It was a moment of curiosity, and I loved the sounds it made. It was divine. You whacked out of your fucking mind, honey. Oh, geez, it goes on for another half page. I can't read anymore. There's a spirit in anything, even in inanimate objects. The spirit comes alive with vibration. I bet you're very, very familiar with vibration. You probably have a drawer full of vibration. For making music, Jody has a favorite type of bridge. Suspension bridges and cable bridges really excite me. They have great textures and sounds. It's like a language, except it's not a language. How is it like a language? Because there's sound. When you speak a language, there has to be sound. Not if it's written. How is it like a written language? There's no sound involved there unless I read it out loud. If I read it in my head, there's no sound. And there's no words. Bridges speak words now? Oh, boy. There's a rubber room waiting for you, honey. I tell you, when I was a kid, this broad would have been shipped off to the asylum immediately. Somebody in her family would have said, "You want to do what?" "Okay, sweetheart. John, can I speak to you in the other room?" I'm using the name John a lot today for fictitious characters. "Call the doctor! Get the fucking shrink here! She needs to go off to Bellevue immediately!" I got the accent wrong because it's Australian. Whatever. Oh my God, yeah. "Oh, the sounds these bridges make, it's meditative and very infinite." She probably sounds like that too. She looks like a fucking Valkyrie. Could probably sing like one of them too. Like one of those broads on stage in an opera with the big horned helm. Oh my God. But the bridge she chose for her husband had a very different quality. One of the things that attracted me to him, the bridges are hymns now, is he's a stone bridge. He's strong and silent. I thought I need to have something solid in my life, something with a little more stability. Yeah, because you definitely don't have stability, honey. No question about that. Jody was in her 40s and had been holding out hope she'd meet a wonderful European human man to sweep her off her feet. Really? I'm confused here. Isn't that kind of like going to a Lamborghini lot to buy a Lamborghini and you got like $5 in your pocket? "I want to buy a new Lamborghini. How much do they cost?" $150,000 for the cheapest. "What'll $5 get me?" It's like she's going to a Lamborghini fucking salesman and trying to get a Lamborghini and has $5. Honey, what do you bring to the table at age 40 that a man values? But in her 12 years overseas, where's this bitch from? Boy, this story sucks. It's not giving me any background details. Years overseas shows she's not from Australia. Where's this bitch from? Probably America, of course. Total loon job. In her 12 years overseas, she hadn't had any luck. And as she told Mamma Mia, she was sick of the messages that are fed to women that marriage is the ultimate achievement in a woman's life. I called it, see? I called it feminist. And a hardcore one, too. To be as fat as she is. Well, that's a message right there that she's a hardcore feminist. So the messages that you need to be able to interpret, their women are sending them out to you, and they're telling you that they're feminists. And there's a number of looks that send that message. First, really short hair. Really, really short hair, like man hair short. Well, real man, right? Not dudes that have mullets, okay? Which didn't even look good back in the 90s, by the way. But yeah, man hair short, feminist. Man hair short, purple or some other weird color, really feminist. Tattoos, feminist. Lots of tattoos, really feminist. Fat, feminist. Really fat, really feminist. Really fat, really short hair, super feminist. Really fat, really short hair, odd color, big red. Now you know the signals to look for. Not that hard to spot if you know what to look for. Now you do. So she goes on to say, for the ever-transient and adventure-seeking Jody, her marriage was an important moment for her. Yeah. Don't marry a real human being. Marry a bridge. It brought it into to a chapter for me. I have settled down. You live on the bridge now? You're like a bridge troll? Well, a bridge troll would live under the bridge, ostensibly, but okay. Small technicality there. I needed to find some grounding, a partner as an anchor. Honey, you'd be the anchor, okay? Nothing's blowing that bridge away with you holding it down, sweetheart. That you is an anchor that you come home to, and that feeling in my marriage to Pont du Diable, probably pronouncing that wrong, is something I genuinely have, so much so you named yourself after the bridge because you have no identity of your own, thanks to feminism. I see. Probably comes from a broken home or a single mother. Broken home. That's a broken home from the start. Jody has visited her husband a few times since their wedding 6 years ago, but admits she and her beloved don't need to spend a lot of time together. Yeah. Long distance works for us, she's describing. Conscious traits to a fucking bridge. She's also happy to make her marriage an open one. Oh, boy. Yeah, does anybody want to bang this? I haven't written off the possibility of a human marriage, she admitted. I will be forever romantic, even though you pretty much said that you don't like the fact that marriage is seen as the ultimate achievement in a woman's life. Let's take a look at this broad. Boy. All right, and here we go. Holy shit. Which one is the bridge? Oh my God. Is that the ring? That's the ring. That's not a ring. I mean, it's an open circle. Isn't the ring continuous all the way around? I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be technically, but what the fuck? It's all rusty and shit. Blacksmith made that? I don't think so. That's not freshly made. That's like some kind of wheel hoop or something. You know what? I think the blacksmith, he'd like, this bitch is nuts. Just get an old fucking hoop from an old wheel from the 19th century and cut a big portion so she can put it over the side of the bridge. I'm not wasting my time forging a ring for this nut job. Oh my God. Wow, she's hideous. She's hideous. Look at how big she is. Which one is the wall? Holy shit. Not only did she hit the wall, she looks like one. She's like a big giant square with a little tiny Beetlejuice head on top. Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, there you go. Now you have to ask yourself, is she fat because of feminism feeding her all this body positivity nonsense, or was she already fat? Well, I'm not sure about that one. Or did she embrace the idea of feminism because she was a big fat blob and she wanted to feel better about being a big fat blob? We may never know. They don't tell us these, what I think are important details. All right. There's some more. There's some more pictures. Oh, what the fuck? Talk about cherubic. Jesus Christ, look at those big, giant, inflatable raft cheeks. Holy shit. Is she doing that? I can't tell. Is she doing this? Or is that how she always looks? Oh my God. Inflate-a-head. She's an inflate-a-head woman. Fuck me. This shit makes me laugh. I love this stuff. Wow. 1930s dress. This must have cost a bundle. Fly to France. What do you think? These 14 friends wanted to pay their own way to go there? She probably paid for them to go there too. I guess when you're a big fatty and, you know, you have to develop your intelligence and your resource earning abilities, but you have nothing to spend any of those resources on, so you save them all. I guess after 48 years, you have a pretty penny left in the bank. So, yeah, I'll blow it on paying to have my 14 closest friends come with me to France to marry a bridge. Yeah. Great job, honey. You are the loser of the week. Hell, loser of the week. Good Lord. The sad part is there's other broads that have done worse, like that chick that married her dog. And she flew all her fucking friends and family to France to marry the dog. And it was a female dog, too. Next. There's the bridge. Oh, isn't that precious yet? Now, at that distance, and from that angle, you can't tell you can tell she's still a blob. But, I mean, of course, by comparison to this gigantic bridge, she looks a lot smaller, obviously. Ay, Faye. Wow. A lot of trouble. Having all these photographs must have cost, well, maybe it didn't cost all that much money. They don't look that good to me. But maybe it was a professional photographer. Who knows? All right, last pick. That's her and all her friends. Wow. Yeah, I really can't imagine these people paid for their own tickets. So she probably funded the whole trip. It's so nutty. Man. Yeah. Oh, my God. Need some more coffee. Crazy stuff. Crazy. And she loves Johnny Cash music. Ay. All right. All these people on a bridge. Ay. What a weird world. What a weird fucking world we're living in. All right, let's move on. There's more. There's more crazy shit. All right, moving on. Oh, delusional broad. Delusional broad alert, people. Listen to this. Law graduate says she can't get a job because she's, and this is in quotes, mind you, too attractive. I love the excuses people make. These are people who are lacking in self-awareness and are unable to accept criticism. So you automatically know you're probably dealing with a narcissist. They might be a malignant narcissist to boot, which is probably why she can't find a job. But, you know, they can't take criticism. There's no self-evaluation going on. So, yeah, no, I can't attribute it to any negatives because there's no negatives. I'm great. I'm wonderful. I'm perfect. It's everybody else that's the problem. Yeah, you keep telling yourself that, Irina. So, Irina Kova. Has struggled. It sounds Russian. Yeah, these Russian broads ain't a bunch of entitled cunts. Nah. Has struggled to find employment in London because of her looks, she claims. Let's take a look at this broad. Let's see if it's really her looks that are the problem. All right. Dopey Broad 1. Okay. First off, the lips are fake. Collagen lips. Tits are small. She's got a nice thin waist. Not a lot of body fat. She's got a good body, but the face is like, it's average. 6, 7, maybe if she put on makeup. But she's a 6 face. I mean, the body is like an 8 or 9, but okay. I'm not seeing it. All right, so she claims she can't get a job because bosses don't want to be distracted by her good looks. Did they tell you that, or did you just come up with this on your own? She came up with it on her own, of course. It's amazing how all these women who come up with these reasons for why they can't find jobs or can't find men, it's always some kind of positive trait that men are intimidated by. Methinks they don't understand men very well. It's not a negative, ladies, if you're good looking. But if you've got a shitty fucking attitude, well, we're going to spot it pretty quick and we don't want to have anything to do with you. But of course, you tell yourself it's something positive that we're scared of. According to London-based Irina Kova, being beautiful gets in the way of her career. I got news for you, sweetheart. You're not beautiful. You're good. You're okay looking broad. You got a good body, but you're not beautiful. That's the problem. You think you're beautiful, but you're not. Despite having a law degree and plenty of work experience, she has struggled to nail down full-time work. The employment dry spell has led the 33-year-old to believe that male bosses don't take attractive females seriously. Well, could it be you have an entitled attitude? Could it be that you have a huge ego? I mean, look, I'm not a bad-looking guy, and I was a really good-looking guy 20, 25 years ago. I think yeah, I was, but I don't go around bragging about it, talking about it, okay? I'm an old guy now, but, regardless, I don't talk about it because it's not relevant to me, really. I place much more value on my intelligence and personality and wit and humor and perceptive capabilities and just my own personality, character, quality as a person. It doesn't enter into the fact that, at one time, I might have looked like this or that. I mean, who gives a fuck? The fact that she talks about this all the fucking time. Oh, they don't like me because I'm beautiful. No, they don't like you because you have a shitty personality, honey. You have a shitty fucking personality, okay? That's your problem. Ay. I don't get it. It's totally lacking in self-awareness here. So this is one of these broads who essentially went to law school, studied law, but it didn't really help her develop very much, if anything, of a personality or character. She has ditched her high heels and started wearing less makeup in a bid to be taken seriously. This is your problem. It's not that men don't take good-looking women less seriously, okay? It's just that good-looking women so often have a sense of entitlement. They think that because they're good-looking, it should do something for them. No. She clearly thinks that. All she talks about is her looks. She goes around saying she can't find a job because she's so beautiful. Give me a break. How full of yourself are you? In a bid to be viewed on a level with less attractive potential colleagues, she's judging other women as being less attractive than her. What an ego on this broad. Yeah, your big ego and your arrogance, that's not the problem. Oh, no. This ugly broad here, I want to look more like them, so I will be taken more seriously. Meanwhile, it's that toxic attitude you've got that's the problem. And the fact that you think other people are such morons that they won't see it. And that they care so much about your looks that they'll overlook that toxic attitude. Wrong. They might overlook it to bang you, but come on, you're 33 years old, sweetheart. How much collagen and plastic surgery can you get before the wall becomes apparent? And it's already showing its ugly face in your face. She also only wears minimal makeup, and she's ditched her heels and started wearing glasses. Oh, well, you can look like Ugly Betty now. Yeah. You still won't get work, though, because not only will you be ugly, and you're not that attractive anymore anyway, you still got the same shitty attitude. You might have gotten away with this attitude 10 years ago, sweetheart, when you were 23. But hello, you're post 30. But her efforts are not enough, according to her agent. Agent? What? Wait. Since when does a lawyer have an agent? Something is amiss here. Something more is going on. Her agent has suggested dyeing her hair darker to avoid negative associations with her blondness. Ooh, the law degree that is a lawyer. It didn't say she's a lawyer, but law graduate says she can't get a job because she's too attractive. Are you a lawyer or are you a celebrity of some kind? One of these Instagram thoughts, maybe? Okay, I think I'm seeing what's going on here. She's claiming to be unable to get a job because she's too attractive so that she can get some free publicity. Yeah, I see, because, the media will talk about this shit ad infinitum if it's about women. Yeah. The Russian-born woman. Oh, boy, here we go. I called it right, didn't I, Russian? Yeah, yes. And also, to dye her hair darker, says her agent, to avoid negative associations with her blondness. Oh, God. Yeah, because men hate hot blonde chicks. And again, she's not that hot. The Russian-born woman has even quit jobs due to comments about her appearance. She claimed, wait. Well, let me get this straight. You had jobs and you quit. And now you're complaining about not being able to find a job. Which is it? And you quit because they made comments about your appearance. Were they positive comments or negative comments? Oh, she doesn't say. We're going to assume she means they're positive. That's something I never got about women, by the way. If women would compliment me, when a woman would, I would take it as a compliment. There was no, oh, you think I'm attractive? Be gone! No. That's good. Women like that. Women? Unless he's Brad Pitt, of course. But unless he's like a fucking 9 or a 10, a woman has a fucking conniption fit if you compliment her. Strange to me. Very strange. It smacks of entitlement. It's so easy for them to get cock that they can have this kind of attitude. So, yeah. Irina told The Sun, women don't trust you and men don't see you as a professional. Who's been filling her head with this stuff? Probably a single mother. Well, she's Russian, right? There's not a lot of single mothers in Russia, actually. Feminism is illegal in Russia. Yeah. It is. It's illegal there. Yeah, you try to do some kind of feminist protest, they'll throw you in the slammer. Good. Feminism destroys countries, okay? It's nothing more than cultural Marxism. It's nothing more than Marxism. And if you let it in, it's like a fucking pathogen. It's like cancer. It's an illness. It'll eat you from the inside out. You need to nip that shit in the bud before it gets a hold. So, yeah, men never want to hire me. You've had jobs. What are you talking about? You've quit. Because you're so sensitive. You're a little fucking snowflake. Oh, he said I had a nice butt. And he said it behind my back, and he didn't think I heard him, but I heard him. Oh, God, I can't work in such an environment where men find me attractive. I thought it was because they didn't. See, this is what I don't get. What are you talking about? So you've lost jobs because you quit them, because the men found you attractive, and they said so. But now you're saying you can't find a job because men find you too attractive. Wait, what? What the fuck are you talking about? You ditzy broad. Could it be you can't find a job because you're a moron? You can't keep your story straight. You're contradicting yourself left and right. That to me smacks of a fucking idiot. Men don't trust you. Men don't see you as a professional. Yeah. Maybe because you're not. Maybe because you're a dopey thought. Or they would rather surround themselves with less attractive women. Oh, is that a fact? Yeah, because I know in my workplace, I love big, fat, disgusting land whale broads moving around me. That's just so nice to look at. Yeah, not distracting at all to have this big, gigantic wall of a woman wearing a fucking car cover as a dress, big, fat moo-moo on her. Yeah, that's not distracting at all. It's the pleasure of my day to look at that. Yeah, right, honey. I think there's some flaws in your logic. The Russian-born woman now sells vintage clothes online. Instagram. I called it. More than 29,000 people follow Irina on Instagram. There you go. She's just talking shit so she can get on some of these tabloid rags covers and be covered. Oh, look at this beautiful, beautiful woman. And it's because of the evil patriarchy that she can't find work. Men are so intimidated by her. Yeah, the women love to tell themselves that, right? They can never look at themselves critically. Yeah, there's nothing negative about me. There can't be anything wrong with me. That face when you take a cup of coffee that's a little too hot. All right. Goes on to say, rather than getting too miserable about the work situation, Irina has set up her own retail company. And this whole story is a bunch of bullshit just so she can get some free media coverage. And there's some other pictures here. I'll give her this. For 33, she's not bad. The lips are a real turnoff for me. What is it with women with these big, gigantic, puffy lips? They think that's attractive or something. You look like a fucking puffer fish. It's not attractive, honey. Not at all. She got nice tits. They're probably fake, of course, but... And again, the body is kicking. She's got a good body. It's not great. Her ass is too small for me, but... she's not a bad-looking broad. I'll give her that. What's with the lips again? Come on! I think she's had plastic surgery. Her jawline is too small down here. I think she's had some alterations done there. She's not attractive. I don't think her face is attractive. It's not classically beautiful, in my opinion. I'm sure she thinks so. She clearly thinks so, and it's clearly obvious to everybody else that she thinks so and sees herself as better than them because of her looks. Oh, but they don't want to hire me because I'm so beautiful. Could be your conceited attitude, sweetheart. Yeah. Okay, there's another. Okay, let's check this out here. Yeah, it's a nice ass, but it's not a great ass, right? Don't get me wrong, she's got a good body, but yeah, I mean, really, the face is not that great, nor is the body. Too many alterations surgically. Is she wearing a girdle? Is that a girdle? Her waist is too small up beneath the breasts. I mean, granted, it's a good shape, but I think that's a girdle. She's too vain. Vain, conceited, narcissistic. I don't understand how women think that men and other women aren't able to spot this kind of toxic personality when it enters their presence. Yeah, there's a lot of morons out there, but if you've risen to some level of success, to the point where you have a business and you're actually hiring people, yeah, you're going to have enough intelligence to spot this kind of personality, especially if you're a fucking lawyer. It's kind of your job to read situations, right? And read people. Okay, all right, so... crazy broad. Crazy entitled dummy. Yeah. But now I got some free publicity. I've yet again used others for my own ends. Yeah. And you wonder why you can't keep a job, find a job, keep a job. Yeah, I'm sure it's your wonderful looks. Yeah, give me a break, honey. All right, next kooky story, next crazy shit. Oh, this next story takes the fucking cake. People tell me how there's a patriarchy. You listen to these nutty, crazy fucking feminists talking all the time about how the world is run by the men's. It's not run by the Wahmens. Really? It might not be run directly by them, but, since they're the majority of voters, okay? And, they put in office people who are very, very... very sympathetic toward women. Listen to this. Spared jail because they're deaf. Now there's deaf privilege? I have yet to see this white privilege that people keep talking about, but apparently if you have a disability, and I guess being a woman's a disability, you get preferential treatment. And deafness, I guess, is a disability, but I didn't realize it was a get out of jail free card. Pedophile sisters who abused a 6-year-old boy for over a decade dodge prison after the judge says they would be too isolated. What the fuck? WTF? Shake my head. SMH. I hate these fucking acronyms, by the way. Just say what you mean. Don't use an acronym, okay? Anyway, crazy. Two evil sisters who sexually abused a boy when he was age 6, and then again when he was a teenager, have been spared jail because they're both deaf. Too isolated? Isn't that what jail's for? I'm confused. Isn't the whole purpose of jail to isolate you and to punish you? I don't get it. Why don't you just put them in the same cell? Just make sure they're in the same cell, then they can sign language to each other all fucking day. And sit their fat asses down on their bunks and read. Although these broads are such land whales, I don't think either of them could climb up to the top bunk. Wait till you see what these broads look like. Julie Fellows, age 30, and her sister Jennifer, age 32, who are believed to be Britain's first deaf female pedophiles. Well, you made a record, ladies. You'll be in the Guinness Book next year. Targeted the youngster over a period spanning 10 years. There's no words. Well, there are, but not at the moment. Jennifer Fellows pleaded guilty to 2 sex offenses at Worcester Crown Court. I've heard of Worcester Crown Court. I've talked about them in other stories I've talked about where women are getting slaps on the fucking wrist. Methinks there might be a correlation. A court heard Julie was age 14 when she lured the young boy, who at the time was 6, into a petrol station toilet where she touched herself intimately. On another occasion, she performed oral sex on the victim, who thought the behavior was the norm because it happened so frequently. What the fuck? Oh, man. Julie also had sex with the boy on a sofa several years later when he was 14, while her boyfriend was asleep at the same location. The abuse only stopped when the victim spoke to friends and realized the behavior wasn't normal. Okay, so here's the thing about these kind of predators. These girls themselves were probably sexually abused, and they knew the kind of traits to look for. They're predators. To those of you out there who believe that women are somehow as pure as the driven snow, and that there's toxic masculinity, which is bullshit. And by the way, no such thing as toxic femininity as well. If there's such a thing as toxic masculinity, this is toxic femininity right here. Women can and are just as big a predators as men, okay? They just stalk different victims, and you're less likely to hear about their victims because boys and young men are ashamed and don't want to come forward and talk about this stuff because it's not supposed to happen to them because they're men. Oh, and of course, society tells them that they should feel proud. Put a notch on your bedpost. It's okay. It's normal if it happens to a boy. Yeah, okay. Julie also had sex with the boy. Oh, God. Ugh. Okay, skip that. I don't want to read that. Julie was found guilty following a trial of indecently assaulting a boy between the ages of 6 and 9. How is she? No jail time. No fucking jail time. That's the crazy part. I mean, this is child rape, 6-year-old. There's no way possible that you could say, he consented, or he's a teenager. Well, once he can get a hard on, but with that argument, of course, you could say that a broad can consent too after she can get a period. Well, she's having her period since she can now have children's. She could consent too. Nobody makes that argument, of course, about Wahmen, but they do about boys, right? Well, he got hard. He must have liked it. We'll give her a slap on the wrist. You can't make that argument here. He was 6. 6 and 9 from October 2000 to 2014, and sexual activity with the same child between the ages of 13 to 17 from October 2008 to 2010. Oh, my God. Jennifer admitted gross indecency with a child under 16 between 2000 and 2004, and inciting a male child between 13 and 17 to engage in non-penetrative sexual activity. Yeah, but today, they were spared jail. God. Jail would be too hard for them. I thought that was the point. How the hell are you going to essentially deter people from committing these awful crimes if there's no consequence? Oh, yeah, okay, you raped the baby. Well, we can't put you in jail. It would be too harsh a punishment for you because, you're deaf or you're blind or something. And your incarceration might be made a little more difficult because of that. What? That's the whole point of incarceration. It's not supposed to be easy. What is this bullshit? Judge Robert Juckes, Juckes, Judge Robert Pussy, Judge Robert Cuck, Judge Robert Simp, Wimp, White Knight, Pussy Boy, decided not to cage them, even though the starting point in guidelines for Julie's offending was 6 years in prison. Why don't they have mandatory terms for this shit? In America, you got mandatory terms everywhere. Judges aren't able to be judges anymore. Well, I have sympathy for you, and I believe in your case, you're deserving of a lighter sentence, but the guidelines say I must sentence you to a minimum term. The guidelines say minimum of 6 years in prison with a starting point of 1 year in jail. Instead of 6. It's supposed to be 6 years starting point. But he gave her 1 year, and then he suspended it. I'm going to give you 1 year in jail, and then I'm going to suspend it. So 0 years. Great. The judge said he was sparing the sisters an immediate jail term because their deafness would mean they would be in a state of complete isolation. What are you talking about? They can see. They're not in a fucking sensory deprivation tank, you dumbass. They have touch. They have taste. They can see. They can't hear. Oh, but they can see. I don't get it. What is this isolation? Put them in the same cell. Then they're not isolated anymore. That would solve the problem, and then I wouldn't have an excuse to let them off the hook because I'm a white knight pussy boy serving the gynocracy. The question for me, as far as I'm concerned, Julie, is this. Do I have to impose an immediate custodial sentence? Yeah, you really do. They raped a fucking 6-year-old. Oh, no. It's a boy, though. If it had been a girl, well, then I might be moved to do something. But, nah, it's just a boy. The conclusion I've come to is that a custodial sentence in your case would be wholly inappropriate. Based on what? Give me a reason why it would be inappropriate. And here he goes. Here he goes with his bullshit. The reasons are the disability you have, the fact that you're about to give birth, and the fact that you have lost a child recently. What does that have to do with what she did? Way before she got pregnant, way before she had a child that she lost. Irrelevant. I love how women use kids and boys, not only for sex, not only to rape them, but it's an excuse to get off the hook for a crime. I have a child. Oh, pussy pass. I do not in any way overlook the effect of this on the victim. Yeah, you do. What are you talking about? You didn't punish him at all. These fat land whale pigs are going to get to sit in their houses for a year. Fucking ankle monitor or something. They had to get the jumbo size to fit these fat, girthy fucking cankles these broads have. A custodial sentence on you would have a highly damaging effect on you. Okay, good. That's the whole point, isn't it? I thought it was. Don't guys come out of prison rabid dogs? 80-90% likely to recommit a crime? Yeah! It's highly damaging. That's the point. It's supposed to be a deterrent, you pinhead. He goes on to say, both of you have led constructive lives. What? The pedophile rapists of children. What are you talking about? Again, this is yet another reason why the UK is on the top 5 list, my top 5 list of the most feminist countries on the planet. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. The disability you have is that you suffer from profound deafness. They're deaf. You're deaf. Profound deafness, you're deaf. There's no profound deafness. You're deaf or you're not deaf. You can hear or you can't. You pinhead. I can already see he's a postmodernist, relativistic moron. And it's a degenerative condition that's getting worse in both of your cases. How can it get worse? They can't hear. I can't hear more? I'm 100% deaf. Now I'm 120% deaf. What the fuck? Neither of you can lip read, but you have both developed high skills in sign language, and that has been a remarkable thing to witness in court. Yeah, big fucking deal. They rape kids. What do I fucking care if they're skilled at using their fingers to make words? I can make a rabbit. No jail time for you. Look at this. I can make shadow puppets. Wow, you acted out the whole War of 1812 using nothing but shadow puppets. 0 jail time for you. These are not facilities, I presume, that are available in prison, such as sign language. they can learn to lip read. I don't understand. They're child rapists, but they can't be inconvenienced by prison. What? Oh, God. I'm too normal. This stuff, the world is becoming more nutty. I'm just flabbergasted by how crazy this shit is. I mean, maybe some of you have been desensitized to this wackadoo shit to the point that it doesn't affect you. But I'm just like, whoa, this shit blows me away. It should blow you away as well. This is not normal. Oh, my God. The resources in prison will not stretch to accommodate somebody with this significant disability. I don't understand. They're deaf. Are you telling me there's no deaf people in prison? None? What do you got to do to go to prison if you're deaf? You killed your mother? 'Cause she overcooked your shepherd's pie? But you're deaf. Huh? Well, prison isn't really set up to handle somebody with your disability. I'm giving you 30 years, but I'm also going to give you a 30-year suspended sentence. There you go. Here's an ankle monitor. You're going to be on a year's probation. House arrest. You can watch a year of fucking repeats of Benny Hill. Whoa, okay. Wow, you're tough, Judge. Fuck me. It's crazy. He goes on to say that this lack of resources in prison would inevitably make her vulnerable to others. Excuse me? By the way, wait till you see the size of these women. They're not vulnerable to other women, okay? It's got to take a lot of strength to haul around that kind of mass. They've got some juggernaut strength, these broads, I guarantee you. Fat woman strength, okay? Fat person strength, because they're having to haul around all this weight, so they've got greater strength than your average woman that's not a fat blob. Plus, they got all that mass that could just fall on you and suffocate you. What's he talking about, vulnerable to others? They would, of course, I'm sure there's lots of other women in prison who are also big fat blobs. Yes, you would be made vulnerable to others. And where's your sympathy for the victim who was vulnerable to them and being used for them and their pleasure for 10 fucking years? Oh, he's a boy. He'll be fine. Boys are resilient. Girls have a problem. If girls have a problem, they're not resilient. I need to step in and be a white knight and spare them any punishment. Because they have no agency. Oh, no, these women have no agency at all. Something else made them do it. Their daddy abused them. Their mommy abused them. Daddy wasn't there. They were abused themselves, sexually abused. Of course, they had to act that out. They're not responsible. No, women are never responsible. Men, however, you're always responsible, and you're responsible for these women as well. No jail time for you. Oh, my God. Craziness. This is crazy. Let's take a look at these broads. Let's take a look here. Oh, man. See what we're dealing with. Let's see what we're dealing with these hippo broads. Blob 1. Ah! Holy fuck. That's them, by the way. That's them. That's the two sisters. Wow. Holy shit. They're hideous. Wow. Yet, this is weird. This judge must be a mega cuck, a mega wimp, mega white knight, because these are two of the ugliest broads I've ever seen. I mean, it's not their looks that made him go easy on them. My God. They look like monsters. They're monsters. I would have no problem locking these two Shrek look-like broads away. I mean, all they need is the green skin, and it's Shrek. Two Shreks. Shrek's wife. Two Shrek's wives. Polygamous Shreks. Two wives. Unbelievable. They're hideous. Hideous women. Are they women? It's hard to say. I would not qualify these women as human, okay? I would not. I don't think they're human beings. I think they're animals. I think they're monsters. I think they're predators. I think they need to be thrown into a dark hole. They need to be fed their food by having it ladled through the fucking grate. Falls down on them. They have to eat it off the floor. That's what I think they deserve. But this judge, oh, prison is punishment. Well, we can't punish you. Because it would be too harsh a punishment. Oh, it'd be isolating. Yeah, okay. That's what prison is for, you idiot. I thought, oh, never. This judge, good Lord. Wow, they're so ugly. By the way, for those of you out there who might be thinking what I'm thinking, as far as insults, well, yeah, they're so hideous. It's not surprising they had to abuse kids. What man would want them, right? But you'd be wrong. That's the thing. There's plenty of places where ugly broads like these can get laid. Big, ugly, fat, hippopotamus-ass broads like this, they can still get laid. Go online. Go to Google, type in chubby chasers. There's a whole bunch of websites all over the world. UK's got it too, where there's men specifically looking for big broads like these chicks for sex, for relationships. And of course, these broads would be like, I don't want a man who just wants me for my body. You got the women saying the same thing. I don't want a man who just wants me because I'm attractive. Now these broads are saying, I don't want a man who wants me just because I'm unattractive by traditional standards. Well, what the fuck? You've limited yourself to 6-year-olds, you stupid bitches. I have standards. Meanwhile, she's going down on a 6-year-old in a fucking petrol station bathroom. Yeah, I would say your standards are pretty loose, honey. All right? I'm too good to use a chubby chaser website. I'm too delusional to even acknowledge that I'm a big fat pig and that I am chubby. And I can only get laid via somebody with a kink on a chubby chaser website. Yeah. Oh, boy. I thought they couldn't get uglier. Holy shit. Now we've got the butchy hairdo. By the way, I say this picture, I'm thinking lesbian. But no, they like dick, I guess. Well, small dicks, child dick. Yikes. She's close to having no neck, right? She got the jowl thing, Hi. Hideous. Hideous broad. Good God. Ah! Oh! She got the cankles. She's got it all. She's got the cankles where, the ankle and the calf are one unit. There's no delineation. You can't see the joint. There's so much fat. And she's got the thighs. I call them the thighs. The thigh and knees. They meld together into one solid unit. You can't see the joint. Thigh, knees, thighs. Wow. God damn, that's hideous, bro. I think she's holding her ankle monitor, her monitor right there. It's not an ankle monitor either. She has to carry that around with her so the authorities know where she is, but it's not attached to her. They probably couldn't find a strap big enough to put that on her. We don't have any extra large straps that'll fit around your big fat ankle, so you'll just have to carry this around, and we'll just have to trust you to carry it around and not leave it on your dresser nightstand while you go out and, troll for little boys. God. No wonder women are so entitled these days. There's no consequences for them. That's the other one. That's the pregnant one. Well, you're pregnant. We can't send a pregnant woman to jail. Oh, no. There's no precedent for ever sending a pregnant woman to jail. Of course, you didn't kill anybody. We can't send you to jail if you're pregnant because you didn't kill anybody. You raped a little boy, but whatever. Fucking hey, she's hideous. Hideous. Also, no neck. White trash blob. By the way, I can't tell she's pregnant. Just looks like a fat chick to me. There's no excuse for it, though. No excuse. You're fat, you're thin, you can get laid. Doesn't matter. There's always some deviant, fucked up in the head guy out there with some weird fatty kink. There's guys with anorexic kinks who are into broads that are like fucking skeletons, look like they came out of fucking Auschwitz after a year, and somehow they magically survived, and if you fed them a fucking candy bar, they would die from shock. So you gotta feed them little fucking half peanuts for 2 days. Otherwise they would die. Because they haven't really eaten much of anything in a year. Little spoon-fed little fucking broth and shit. Oh my God. Well, she's definitely not missed any meals, for sure. Good God. There's a guy out there for every broad. Okay? The vice versa doesn't apply, by the way. There's no excuse. No excuse. Wow. That is just scary. Scary looking broads. Oh, man. Oh, there's more. There's no more. We have one last story, okay? Yeah, this show's getting a little long, but let me pour myself a final cup of coffee here. I always prepare 3 cups of Java for this show. I need every one of them. Again, this crazy stuff, man. It animates me, but the animation then, I need a stimulant to keep going. All right. University of North Texas teaches students about sexual pleasure for infants. Been so animated and fucking excited and about the prior stories, I'm losing juice here. I'm losing steam. My righteous indignation is it's having a more difficult time shining through here. I'll stoke it up. Give me a second. A human sexuality course at the University of North Texas asks enrolled students to observe sexual interactions in young children. Wait a second, isn't that child porn? Where am I living here? Did I go to sleep and then some fucking portal to another universe opened up and sucked me in without me being aware of it? Am I now in the Bizarro universe where everything is backwards? I don't get this. The class also included a presentation titled Sexual Pleasure and Response in Infants. Oh, boy. And I love how the left are acting like righteous, morally superior creatures. And then they push this kind of crap. Sexual pleasure in infants? Okay! A report from the College Fix revealed that a course at the University of North Texas is taking a bizarre stance on the sexuality of young children. Young children do not have sexuality. Okay? That's it. No sexuality. You don't study sexuality in young children because to study sexuality in young children, you'd have to initiate some kind of sexual activity between either yourself or them and other kids. And both are immoral. You scum! See, I got my juices flowing now. I needed just a few seconds to re-energize myself. What the fuck? Oh, God. And it's been criticized for an alleged lesson on sexual pleasure in infants. Photos from the classroom show a PowerPoint presentation with the title Sexual Pleasure and Response in Infants. How is this something you could study without actually performing sex acts on an infant? This is beyond immoral. This is gross. This is evil. This is evil. I'm classifying this as evil, okay? I live in objective reality. Okay? Unlike some of you pinheads out there who think that things like good and evil don't exist. Everything's relative. One man's sinner is another man's saint. I got news for you. That's a bunch of bullshit, okay? This is evil. Evil! And not like the joking kind of Dr. Evil, bumbling fool evil. This is evil evil. Like cold, calculating, satanic evil. Meant to corrupt humanity. Which is what these leftists want to do. Because they're corrupt. The College Fix highlighted an excerpt from the course's textbook, which is called Our Sexuality. Oh boy. And it asks students to go to a local elementary school playground or daycare center to observe sexual interactions between children. Sometimes I walk by a school and you see the kids playing at lunch or something. I don't see any sexual interactions going on. Where the fuck are their kids in preschool or kindergarten or elementary school diddling each other on the fucking playground? I'm not seeing this shit, are you? By the way, isn't that a little demented? Isn't that a little fucking creepy for an adult to be going and looking to hope that he sees some kind of sexual interaction between kids and he's just, watching these kids and taking notes and watching and taking notes. Do you have a kid at this school? No, I'm just watching the kids because of a course I'm taking in school that talks about sexual pleasure for children. Yeah. Police! Police! We got a sicko here. Yeah, that's... God. Oh, my God. Take the class to a local elementary school playground or ask permission for a few of your students to attend various school playgrounds, preschools, or daycare centers during recess to observe behaviors of children. Isn't this what pedos do? Don't pedophiles often go to playgrounds and watch the little kiddies so they can get turned on, so that they have the hopes of maybe seeing a little dress fly up so they can see some underwear or whatever? They just want to see something because they're so sick and demented and degenerate. How is this different? Oh, well, this is academic pedophilia. Oh, I see. That normalizes it then. Oh, this is an attempt to normalize sexual behavior with children, between children, to normalize seeing kids as sexual objects. So, it goes on to say, ask students to know that this is what they want to do in the class. They want the class, they have this class, and then the textbook suggests, this is from the textbook. This excerpt I'm reading is directly from the textbook. So the teacher should ask students to all go as a group to playgrounds and recesses at preschools and kindergartens, and ask students to watch these kids and look for sexual interactions and note interactions between same-sex and mixed-sex groups. Which group had more frequent sexual interactions? Which behaviors were most frequent? What kind of touching did children engage in? Yeah, because if we observe the kind of touching children are engaged in and are comfortable with, then we could then copy that behavior and be able to groom these children more effectively so we can later abuse them. What about teasing behaviors? Were there any overtly sexual interactions? Yeah, because if we're able to model our behavior over what we observe these kids doing and what these kids observe as acceptable, and then we can imitate that behavior, we'll be more likely to be able to get into these kids' good graces, be able to get them to trust us, while at the same time we're able to diddle them with impunity. What was the age range of the children being observed? Have students write a report comparing their observations with information in the text. The textbook editor told the College Fix that she has never taken students to a local elementary school or daycare center to observe sexual interactions. No, you're just telling professors to do so, and how to do so, and what to do when they do so. What? We're living in a world now where pedophilia is being pushed as normal, where academics and students are being pushed into actually performing the same types of behavior that pedophiles do to get off, and labeling that as normal academic observation. I can say that as an instructor, I have never used that activity, and I would be quite surprised if any instructor has asked their students to observe children on a playground, the editor said. But you're telling them to do so at the textbook. What do you mean you'd be surprised? This is what the textbook is telling people to do. I would be surprised if people did what I'm actually telling them to do verbatim in my textbook. In my textbook, I tell people to do exactly this, but I'd be surprised if they did exactly that. Well, why the fuck did you put it in the textbook to begin with, you pinhead, you? God. Oh, my God. This is nothing more than the normalization of the sexualization of children. It's a type of normalizing behavior where you inch by inch desensitize people to something that's a taboo until eventually it's accepted as the new normal and people don't see anything wrong with it and there's no stigma attached. That's all this is. You see the left? They're really a bunch of degenerate scum. Degenerate scum. Relativistic douchebaggery is what this is. There's not enough words to describe the depravity that I'm seeing here. The whole point of a course like this and suggestions like this is to teach a new generation of pedos how to effectively groom children to be future victims of pedophilia, so that then, of course, they will be ever more promiscuous and pay no real heed or attention to forming pair bonds with people. Yeah. Let's make it almost completely impossible for an adult in the next generation to form a long, stable relationship. Because you've trivialized sex to the point where these broads are hopping onto 100 dicks before they're age 20, which completely destroys their ability to pair bond, hollows them out inside emotionally, destroys their heart. No possible way they could ever form a strong, stable relationship with a man. They'll never be able to trust a man. Let's make relationships between people almost entirely impossible so we, the state, have total control over what they think, what they feel, how they perceive the world. This is such sick shit. And the problem, this is not the only problem. The other problem is that there's so many people out there that have been desensitized to the point where they're totally, completely apathetic. And they won't do anything and they won't say anything. And that's a big part of the reason why I make these videos, to open your eyes up. And as a normal fucking human being, wake you up to the fact of how abnormal the world has actually fucking become. This is not normal. This is not normal. And you need to wake up and realize that and start talking about it. Start saying something, start doing something like I am. Otherwise, Western civilization will tumble off a cliff into a fucking abyss, which may have already fucking happened, and be totally, completely destroyed, and then we'll all be hearing fucking Allah Akbar, and everybody will be marrying 9-year-olds. God, this is so sick. All right, I gotta go. That's enough. I can't take any more. My blood pressure must be skyrocketing right now, and the caffeine doesn't help. Doesn't that raise blood pressure too? Oy vey. All right. I'm going to end the show on that note. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm also setting up new funding methods. It turns out that one of the old donation platforms I used to use is finally accepting American dollar donations again. It's a one-time platform, totally anonymous, so I will be posting that next time after I double check, make sure that's good. I'm also able to receive donations on Patreon. I put a lot of time and effort into preparing and making these shows, so if you do view my content and you enjoy the red pills that I deliver, the realism, the focus on objective reality, and the message I'm putting out and the effort I put into putting that message out, please consider donating to my channel by going to therealistphilosopher.com and clicking on the donation button. There are right now 2 ways to donate, and I will have more in the future. Anything would help, though. Anything would help. Also, consider following me on Twitter and Facebook, Instagram, Gab. You'll find all the links in the description for this video. Whenever I post new content, you'll find the links on Twitter or Facebook. And I also do a lot of interactions with crazy fucking leftists and feminists on Facebook and Twitter especially, so that can be interesting to watch. Also, if you'd like to be on the show, or there's a subject you would like me to discuss, or there's something you'd like to bring to my attention that you think it would be interesting for me to discuss, you can email me at admin@therealistphilosopher.com. That's ADMIN at therealistphilosopher.com. You can see the link up there in the upper right-hand corner. And also, for those of you who've been following me for a while, you'll know that in the past, I used to spend a lot more time focusing almost solely on feminism and the evils of feminism. Now I've essentially broadened my focus and I comment on a lot more topics right now, but I am going to be making a lot more content for that and putting it on one specific YouTube channel. And I might also be reopening an old SoundCloud account, and that content will be solely focused on my hatred of feminism, which is really just cultural Marxism. So if you enjoy that kind of content, you're going to like that. And I will post those links probably on the next episode. Anyhow, that's it. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I hope you enjoyed, and I wish you a good day. Take care.